friends, welcome or welcome back to the Blue Butterfly Tarot. Today we're looking specifically into a no contact and or separation situation. What are they currently thinking? And I've got two piles for you. This is pile number one, this is pile number two. Pile number one is the Marital Tarot, and pile number two is the Tarot of the Curious Creatures. Take your time, see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to. I do want to say this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If one pile's messages don't resonate, then choose the other. If both piles' messages don't resonate, then it just means that maybe there aren't any messages for you in this video today. But I do hope that at least one of the pile's messages do resonate. There is going to be an extended for this reading, so let's take a look at what you can expect in the extended. So we're going to be looking into what feelings do they hide from themselves? How would they react if you reached out to them first? What energy shifts may happen in the connection? And should you wait, move on, or detach? Right? So these are the questions that we'll be looking into in the extended. Now, please be careful of scammers. I would never reach out to you asking you to follow or subscribe or book a private reading, so just please be a little bit careful about that. My private readings are open right now. I can check the details in the description box below. I'm going to give you a few seconds now to see which pile or piles you feel intuitively called to, and then I shall begin. Hi pile one, for those of you who chose the Marital Tarot, this is going to be your reading, alright? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes, think of your person, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Okay. Specifically for no contact and or separation situation, what is your person currently feeling? Four of Pentacles, the Fool, King of Pentacles, Judgment, Four of Swords, Knight of Swords. I'm thinking a lot about this connection, Hangman. Okay. I also have your Oracle cards, so we're going to look into that. We have Hawthorn with Courage. We have I Miss Us. I was getting that energy. Tiger's Eye, I accept and love myself for who I am, and Slow. But I feel like reading these, so pause, reflect, breathe. There's a lot of pause energy in your reading today. I think that your person has been thinking a lot about this connection and reflecting a lot about what has happened between the two of you. And the message that's coming through is your person is asking themselves, did we make the right decision? That's the question that's on your person's mind. So maybe at that point in time when this went into no contact, maybe it felt aligned at that point in time, or maybe your person took that decision in a haste. That's also another message that's coming through. But now that there has been time on your person's end, like they've been thinking about this connection, and I feel like even like other aspects of their life might have slowed down, so that your person is being given the space to think about how this no contact started out and whether that was an aligned decision, or maybe for some of you at that point in time it was the aligned decision, but is it still aligned? Has there been a change in their thought process? Has there been a change in their feelings towards this connection? Because sometimes even if at the beginning of the no contact, perhaps it was aligned, but that can change. Circumstances can change, and what was once aligned may not align anymore. And so there's kind of like this nagging feeling that's growing in your person's heart, and frankly in their mind as well. They're thinking a lot about this connection. It's kind of like growing feeling where they're wondering, well, did we make the right decision, or do I still stand by that decision of no contact or just being separated from my person? They definitely do want to understand their own thought process first, and that's actually why they're going within. I do feel that if your person feels the no contact is misaligned, I feel like they will be honest with themselves. They're not going to kid themselves, but at the same time, I do feel that there have been so many feelings that your person has suppressed in the no contact that has kind of happened between the two of you, that it might be difficult for them, or it might take them a little bit of time to actually gain clarity about what they truly feel right now about the situation and what feels aligned to them today. So it might take a little bit of time for your person to dig through all of those emotions, everything that they've kept suppressed and hidden. But I do see the intention of wanting to dig through, wanting to figure out what's the truth of how they think and feel about this situation at this point in time. I would not be surprised if life was going a little bit too fast for your person, like maybe there were distractions or there were other things happening in their life when this went into no contact, so they never really had the time to think about what they felt about the situation or even think about whether it was the right decision or not. I think that they just started immersing themselves in other aspects of their life. But now things have slowed down, or your person has intentionally chosen to take a step back from other aspects of their life so that they can actually think about this connection. Your person is thinking a lot. Like, I think I've said this like 3 or 4 times in your reading today, but that's because you are heavy on their mind. They've been thinking so much about where both of you were, where both of you are at right now, like before and after, and where both of you need to be heading. Like, is this it? That's also another question that is coming through from your person's side. And I do feel that a part of them wants to give this a try, but I also feel that they feel very stable in their life at this point in time with the King of Pentacles coming up. And so if they choose this connection, or if they want maybe a new beginning in this connection, will that destabilize the stability that they built up until now? You know, maybe your person feels, that's the thing with your person, they feel that they are in a stable place, but the truth is they feel stable because they've suppressed their emotions. The moment those emotions come to the surface, I don't think that your person's actually going to feel truly stable about where they are at, or they feel they've made peace with the situation, but from the energy, no, it doesn't feel like it. I think it's just suppression. So the moment that comes out in the open, I think that your person will recognize that whatever stability they're holding on to, or whatever stability they perceive they have, which is causing this inaction on their end, yeah, that's going to disappear, and that will be the true choice in front of them. Like, do you actually want to make a step towards your person, that's you, Pawan, or do you want to continue being in this energy? So that element of stability will be taken away the moment they start digging deeper into their feelings, which I feel they are stepping into that energy with the way the tiger's eye has come. I feel like they are going to start accepting all the feelings that they have suppressed. So maybe some sadness that coming through, some guilt, some shame, and also, you know, what they felt about this connection and how this connection made them feel at one point in time. And also, you know, the courage to accept that this connection might actually be something that they want for themselves, or this no contact is no longer aligning to them. So there's a little bit of that future energy that I am tapping into. But first, I feel like there's a lot of thinking that needs to happen on your person's end, which they're actually doing. They're allowing themselves to think. And as they're thinking, there are a lot of those suppressed feelings coming up to the surface, which is good because that's actually helping your person evaluate, well, where am I at right now? And is this truly aligned with what I want, what I feel I want for myself at this point in my life? So I feel like your person's at a decision point, like they're on the verge of reevaluating whether this no contact is still serving them or not. Like I said, maybe in the past it might have, maybe in the past it was the best thing for the two of you to like go your separate ways, to heal, or maybe take some time to pause this connection and to evaluate where you both are standing. But at that point in time, your person didn't take the time to think about what was going on. They just accepted it and they just kept moving on with their life. But what was that? I mean, that was actually just them, suppressing. But now it's coming up to the surface and they're feeling like maybe this no contact is not serving them anymore. So that's what's currently on their mind at this point in time. I do feel that they'd miss you with I miss us coming through. But I also feel that it's more of an understanding, and it's more of realizations rather than any of it converting into action just yet. I don't feel any action oriented. Like the urge to bring back this connection comes only when there is clarity on their end about what they want, but they're getting to that point of clarity, right? So I don't see any action oriented energy just yet, but I do see clarity coming in for your person. I do see that they are going to go within a lot, and they're going to take some time to see if this no contact is really aligned with them or not. Let me get you one advice or one. I do feel that your person is going to gain an understanding of this situation. I also feel that they are going to feel the urge to start something new with you. Might be reconciliation, it could be maybe friendship, it could also be going back to the way things were between the two of you. There definitely seems to be, like, the path that they're on seems to be going towards feeling like, yes, maybe I want something back. This no contact no longer feels aligned. Maybe I do want a shift in the energy of this connection. Maybe I don't want silence forever between the two of us. So it's eventually going to get to that point. But again, even with the wand energy, I am feeling the pull that they might take action based on that, but that feeling will have to grow for them to actually take a full-blown action. That's also another message that's coming through, but this is going to take time, Pawan. I do want to say this is very slow-moving energy because there's just a lot of thoughts that your person has to process. There's also a lot of feelings that need to come to the surface, and your person needs to go through the process of accepting those feelings as well. So that is going to take a bit of time, but overall, they're questioning if this no contact is aligned with them at this point, and they're actually leaning towards the answer of no. They want a shift in the dynamic of the connection. All right? One, this is where I will leave you for today. Really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you're looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. There is going to be an extended for this reading, so let's take a look at what you can expect in the extended. So we'll look into what feelings do they hide from themselves. How would they react if you reached out first to them? What energy shifts may happen in the connection, and should you wait, move on, or detach? Okay, so these are the questions we'll be covering in the extended, and details for the extended is going to be there in the description box below. My private readings are also open right now. You can check the details in the description box below. Pal 1, take care. Trust your intuition. You always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye. Hi, Pal 2. For those of you who chose Tarot of the Curious Creatures, this is going to be your reading, all right? Before we get into the reading, let's just take some time to realign our energies. So close your eyes. Think of your person. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Alrighty, Pal 2, specifically for no contact and no separation situation, what is your person currently thinking? The Knight of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, Page of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, 3 of Wands. Interesting, 10 of Cups, okay. I also have your Oracle cards, so we're going to look into that. We have Forget-Me-Not, Awareness, yeah, I was getting that. This is too much, yes. Energy. We have Sunstone, I find joy in the little things every day, and Care, okay. First off, in this no contact and separation between the two of you, your person is not doing very well. I think that it's been a burden on them at this point in time. They have not been able to communicate this with anyone, so maybe the image that they're showing other people might be, like, oh, okay, I'm fine, or everything's okay, or there might have been a lot of time that has passed since the no contact started out. So maybe everybody thinks that your person's okay, but they're not doing well at all. Now, what your person is currently thinking, Pal2, is wondering if you are feeling the same way that they are. Are you feeling the burden that they're feeling? Do you even care? Because your person seems to be watching you. They seem to be looking at you. They seem to be pretty frustrated even within themselves about this no contact, and maybe you have not shown it outward, or maybe you've not reached out to them, or maybe your mutual friends have been telling your person that yes, you've moved on, or yes, everything's okay on your end. Or if you don't have mutual friends, maybe your person has been watching what you're posting and everything seems to be okay, everything seems to be fine on your end. They're wondering if you actually care, whether you have forgotten them, whether you've moved on completely in your life and they're not doing very well. Like, there's this frustration that's also coming through that I'm not doing well, how can they be doing well? That's also another frustration that is coming through, and it's big energy. Yeah, I'm like taking a deep breath because there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of anger that's coming to the surface. Like, why me? Why am I the only one suffering in this no contact? And you might be over there saying, hey, I'm struggling with this too. I'm also not doing very well in this situation. But in your person's perception, you seem to be quite well off. You seem to be forgetting them and moving on with your life. And also, I'm getting on your end, you could be like, well, that was what was the no contact intended for, right? Us going our separate paths and, figuring things out on our own. But your person could have been the one to initiate the no contact. Regardless of who initiated the no contact or why things went into no contact, they are not doing well at all. Like, it's too much for them to handle. It's kind of like the thoughts about this connection are spinning. They want this connection, but at the same time, they want to accept the no contact. So there's that internal conflict that's going on between between two parts of them, like one part wanting reconciliation, one part sticking to the no contact. Another part of them wondering if you care. If you don't care, then why do they want this connection back? And then you seem to be happy without them, but they're not happy without you, and they want to be happy with you, but they feel you're not happy with them. It's just confusing. It's a mess of what they're going through internally. They're not happy at all. Like, very, very blocked energy is coming through in your reading over here today, Pal2, but it's more frustration. It's more of the anger that's coming up to the surface. Like, why am I the only one suffering here? Why is this connection coming back and again to me? So maybe your person's tried pushing thoughts away and then it keeps coming, or the universe steps in with its own signs and synchronicities and your person's like, I can't deal with this. I don't want to deal with it. But maybe it is time for your person to deal with it, and that's why there's constant reminders coming through for your person as well. On your end, I feel like you too might be struggling, but I think that you are making peace with the situation, or you're just handling it a lot better than your person. Like, you're facing what you're feeling rather than suppressing or pushing things away, because I do feel there's an element of synchronicities that are just constantly bombarding your person. Like, they might be feeling your energy in someone else that they're talking to. It doesn't have to be romantic, or platonic and familial as well. Or there's something that you say that they catch someone else hearing and then floods them with memories of you. There's like constant reminders of you that it's just too much for your person. But like I said, I feel like they might have been pushing thoughts about this connection away, and they were successful up until a point where now they're pretty much defeated. They can't suppress it anymore. They can't push away anymore. And if they do, the more they resist, the more it's actually coming back at them. It's kind of like a rubber band that I'm seeing. Like, the more you give tension and then you let go, it hits with that much force. And yeah, your person's not doing well at all at this point, Pal2. It's a constant, like, someone's screaming in my mind right now, like, do they even care? How come they're not suffering? Why am I the only one suffering? They seem to be doing well, and I don't want to be the only one not doing well at this point in time. So a little bit of that energy coming through. They want this connection, but they also don't want this connection. They want to be happy, but they also, it's very confusing on their end. They're not able to understand what they're feeling at this point in time. But I will say that it is, and I actually feel like reading Forget Me Not for you right now, pal, too. So we're going to read that, and then I'll explain why this is important for your reading. So Forget Me Not, awareness. Forget Me Not wants to raise your awareness of your connections, not just to loved ones, but all beings in all realms, including yourself. When you can understand this connection, you can let go of your fears of loneliness, isolation, and separation because you realize the true immortal nature of your divine soul. So I feel like there are feelings of loneliness, isolation, and separation that are coming to the surface at this point in time for your person, but then that's actually scaring them. And that's why that frustration is coming through. Like, why am I the only one going through this? Why not my person? You know, do they not care? But it actually, behind the scenes, what's actually happening is they're actually getting afraid of what they're feeling, and they're not able to understand, they're not able to process what they're feeling. So that comes through as frustration, that comes through as anger. Frustration, I don't know why I struggle with that word. Okay, anyway, that comes through as frustration. So that's what's going on their end. Let me get you maybe some messages or some advice coming through that wants to come through, because the energy is very chaotic on your person's end. But at the same time, it's, like I said, they want to come forward, but they don't. They want something more, but they don't. There's a lot of fears playing through as well. It's kind of like, yes, I want to come forward. Yes, I want to change this dynamic. Yes, I want to say something, but at the same time, what if it backfires? What if my person is just happy without me? What if they don't care about me at all and I'm the one stuck in this energy forever? When is this energy ever going to leave my life, kind of thing? But what they're realizing is this energy is hitting them because they suppressed it up until now. It's equal and opposite reaction. They're meant to understand what they're feeling. They're meant to learn. They're meant to grow at this point in time, which is why they're experiencing all of this. They're meant to step into an energy where they don't act out of loneliness or isolation or the separation, but they act because they want to, because they genuinely feel something. So that is the transformation that's meant to happen on your person's end. This is what is pushing them at this point in time. So the fears are what is going to help your person step into a version of themselves that comes forward with stability, comes forward with strength, rather than, oh, I'm coming forward because I'm feeling lonely. Because that energy is very wishy-washy. That energy leads to ghosting. It leads to on and off cycles. However, if you come forward after facing your loneliness and you work through those feelings and you start recognizing the power of, being with yourself, not being lonely, but instead finding comfort in your own company, then what you want actually becomes an extension of what you can give yourself, rather than relying on the other person to give you what you want for yourself, right? So that is more stable energy because it's more of an extension and there's already stable energy within your person. They are being pushed to step into this version of themselves at this point in time. They're being taught at this point in time, but it's a process by itself. It is going to take a bit of time, though the energy, it's going to take a bit of time, but it's going to be more long-term energy that comes forward. All right, that is the message coming through. I'll get one more for you, Calcio. Let's see what wants to come through. Yeah, okay, so it looks like your person will be pushed to take action. However, the energy behind that action is important for you to note as well, pal, too. If the energy behind them reaching out is coming from a place of loneliness, it's coming from a place of craving some kind of resolution without them looking inward, then it might not be aligned to the highest good of this connection long term. However, if you sense that your person is reaching out after reconciling with isolation, after understanding and finding comfort within themselves, and then reaching out to you as an extension of that because they want to include you as a part of their life, then that would be aligned energy. So it looks like your person will be reaching out, but they will also be reaching out as they're going through the transformation. So it's very important for you to tap into your intuition and use your discernment to see which energy your person is stepping into. So I would expect communication. I would expect your person to keep stepping into your life even as they're going through this transformation. So just be a little bit careful about that. But also, they will be stepping in when they are fully ready as well. So the kind of energy that your person will be stepping into when they're not ready for this connection would be maybe drunk text, acting through intoxication, because that's when they will feel free to act upon what they want to do. It might be very impulsive as well. It might be just like a bit of sneaky energy as well. So if they're coming with those energy, I would say it's preferable not to engage with it, just because it's just going to lead to more on and off cycles between the two of you, and you might have to set boundaries at that point in time. However, if they come in with energy that feels stable, that feels sure, that means that the transformation on their end has completed, right? That is the advice that is coming through for you, because it feels like your person's going to be stepping in, like wanting to, like coming in because of impulses, because of just loneliness, more so than figuring out why they're feeling the way that they are and correcting possibly what they may have been misaligned before in the connection. All right, so that's a little bit of advice that wants to come through for you. Pile 2, this is where I will leave you for today. I really hope that this reading brought you the comfort, clarity, and confirmation you're looking for. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. There is going to be an extended for this reading, so let's take a look at what we can expect in the extended. Okay, so the first question that we're going to be looking into is, what feelings do they hide from themselves? How would they react if you reached out to them first? What energy shifts may happen in the connection? Should you wait, move on, or detach? Okay, so these are the questions that we'll be looking into in the extended. Details for the extended is going to be there in the description box below. My private readings are also open right now. You can check the details in the description box below if you'd like to. Pile 2, take care, trust your intuition. You always have free will. Catch you in my next one. Bye-bye.